Hello friends, my name is Gautam and you're watching Coding Shiksha. So today in this video, I will be integrating Facebook login into the website here using JavaScript. Using JavaScript SDK and Graph API in JavaScript in Facebook. So you can see that this is the interface of the application. So I can inspect element and simultaneously show you the response that is coming back from the API. So if I hit this login with Facebook button, so you will see that there is a prompt which will be allowing me to log in into Facebook. You can see that this is email address which is auto filled. So let me enter the password here. So if I enter the password, so you will see that it will be logging in into my Facebook account, and you can see that it is printing out the details, name, email and birthday. So you can see that also the JSON response which is coming back from the API side by side. This is birthday, email, ID, name. So all the details are fetched from this JSON response and passed it and displayed it into the browser. So this much of functionality we will be building, and for the source code of this application is there in my blog. I have given the link in the description. So this is the step-by-step blog for this, so you can read this blog along with the video. So all the instructions how to get the app ID is given in the blog, so you can follow along with this. And for the source code, let me show you the source code as well. You can see that the source code is well embedded. You can just copy paste it, and you can see that you just have to paste your app ID. I will show you how to generate one, and then you can just implement this Facebook login functionality in JavaScript. So let's start the process. So first of all, you need to generate a app ID. For that, you need to go to Facebook developers.facebook.com, and on that you need to first of all add a new app. Click this option, add a new app, and after that you need to type a display name for your app. So something like social auth app, something like that. Mind you, you just not write any kind of fv. You don't have to mention fp into the display name. So I can just write social auth app, let's suppose, and this is a contact email, and then you just have to press the create app ID button. After that, just fill this box here and submit it, and it will be creating the app ID for you. So just wait for a while. So in order to get the app ID, you need to go to the settings here. So just wait. So you can see that there is a settings options. So just click the settings option, and you need to go to the basic option here. Just go to the basic option, and you can also copy paste it from here. You can see that this is the app ID, or you can go to there and just copy it. So store it somewhere, we will be using it. So after getting the app ID, I will be going into the blog here. So first of all, showing you the folder structure here. So the project contains 3 files here. First is the index.html file, which will be holding 2 buttons here. First is the login with Facebook button, and there is a logout button also, which enables the user to log out from its account. And there is a status button which will hold the actual information which will be there for the user. And I have also included the init.js file which will hold the actual SDK information. You can see that there is a separate file that I have created for this, and there you have to copy paste your app ID which you have created. So just copy paste it here, your app ID that you have created. Your app ID will be unique, so just make sure. And after that, just save your work. And after that, this is the index.html. So make sure that you include this init.js file before the actual HTML. And after that, we have additional 2 files here. First is the jQuery. So And after that we have the custom script.js file which will hold the business logic for the application. So this is the script.js file here, and I will write the code here. So first of all, write the document.ready function of jQuery. So after all the elements are loaded, we need to perform the steps here. So this is the document.ready method. So first of all, we need to add a event listener on the login button. So whenever the user comes to the application, he sees the first, if he sees the login button. So let me show you. So let me save this, all these things, and go to the, I'm using exam, you can see that, for the local host here. So first, so let me show you, you can see that there is a button here, login with Facebook. So if I click this button, nothing will happen because I have not made the functionality for that. So first of all, this is script.js. I will add a event listener here. So first of all, I will target it by ID. So I have included the ID for that. You can see that I have provided ID of login here. So I will target this login click function. So I will be calling a function here of Facebook login. So whenever the user comes to the application, he clicks on the login button, we will be invoking this custom function. So let me just write the definition of this Facebook login. So let me move on to the blog here. So you need to be reading the blog along with the video. So I have explained all the steps here. You can see that you get the app ID. After that, create the index.html file, and after that, create the init.js file, copy paste your app ID, and after that, in the script.js, we first of all invoke the add a event listener on the login button. After that, as soon as the user clicks on the login button, we invoke this function of Facebook login. So this is the actual function. Just copy paste these lines of code. I just don't want to write it, it will just waste your time, so I will just rather explain it. So I am just calling the SDK method here. So this is the actual method of get login status. So basically it will be just checking if the user is currently logged in or not. So if the user is logged in, so it will be changing the user interface by calling this function. That is, this is also a SDK function, that is status change callback. So basically it will be informing that the user is currently logged in or if the user is currently not logged in. So depending upon that, we will be showing the login button or the logout button. So we need to create this status change callback function. So let me write status change callback function, which will be taking the response whether or not the user is logged in or not. So basically there is a property which comes with it. Let me write it status. So if the status is equal to connected, then we can safely say that the user is logged in. The user is logged in. So then we can just show the information to the user. First of all, we need to hide the button, that is the login button. We need to hide it. So hide it, the login button, and also we need to show the logout button also. Button. So you can see that in the index.html, I have just changed the style property to none, that is display to none of the logout button. So once the application starts, the logout button will not be seen. So in the script.js, I have mentioned that if the user is successfully logged in, I need to show the logout button. So for that, I will be just writing this code, that is dot show. This is the jQuery method. So after hiding the login button and showing the logout button, I need to call a custom function of fetch user information. I need to fetch the user information. So for that, I will be making a separate function which is fetch user information. So this is a custom function, I need to create it here. So basically this function will fetch the information from the API. So function fetch user information. So it will be fetching the user information. So let me get back to the blog here. So you can see that all the reasoning behind each line of code is given in my blog. So if you are confused in any stage, you can just go back to the blog and read about the section of code. So you can see that this is the actual code of status change callback. First of all, we have console log response, and then we are checking that if response.status, there is a property in the response which is called as status. So it is we are checking that if it is equal to connected, then we can safely say that the user is logged in. Then we can hide the login button. Then we can also show the logout button, and then we can fetch the user profile. Else, in the else scenario, we can also log in the user by showing it the Facebook dialog. So let me copy this. So if the response.status property is not equal to connected, then we can call this custom function by logging in the user by showing him the dialog. So first of all, I will be changing the fetch user profile, not information. So now I need to change this fetch user profile. So this is the name of the function that I need to call here, and I also need to change it here also, fetch user profile. So in this custom function, I will be calling the API, and then I will be passing the response which will be coming back from the API. So this is the overall definition of the function. You can see that. Let me copy paste it. Sorry, this is the Facebook login by dialog. So let me copy it. So let me write this function. So basically this function will allow the user to log in by showing him the window. So function Facebook login by dialog. So paste it here. So this is this contains the standard SDK function fb.login. So in the if the function is successful, then we will inform the user by calling this function, that is again status change callback, because the user is successfully logged in. So we need to call this function by actually responding it. So we will be passing the actual response, and you can see that there is the actual scopes that you can specify. So in this, I am just specifying public profile and email. So let me add some more here. Let's suppose birthday. 3 things I need to fetch here: public profile, email, and birthday. So you can just specify some more scopes depending upon your information that you need to grab from the API. So this is the Facebook login by dialog, and after that we need to fetch the user profile. So this function I need to go to. So in the blog, you can see that. Let me copy it. and after that explain to you each line of code. So in this function you can see that, let me paste it. So first of all you can see that this is again the standard SDK function, fb.api. In the parentheses we will be invoking the request. So this is the actual path here. You can see that slash me signifies my me. So question mark fields is equal to, I need to fetch the ID, name, email, gender, birthday. So let me eliminate the gender, I don't need the gender here. So comma birthday. And if the response, if the request is successful, we will be consoling log the response here. And we also console log the successful login for response.name. So we are creating a new variable here of profile, and then we are using the backtick symbol here. You can see that the backtick symbol is available to you before uh, above the tab symbol here in the keyboard. So you will be finding this backtick symbol. So the advantage of using this is that you can write multi-line HTML code, and also you can embed this variables here. So if you want to, by using dollar and curly brackets, so in that you can specify, you can see that these are the variables that is coming from the API. So first of all we have the h1 tag, welcome, response.name. So let me just put this response.name. uh, Let me put a dollar. So that was a problem. Your email is dollar response.email, your birthday is response.birthday. So these are the three properties which is there in the API. And lastly we are just appending the response by appending this variable to the status property which was there, status div. So you can see that I have given the ID to it of status, so I am just appending it. So this is all code, guys. So lastly I just need to put a add a event listener to the logout button also, logout button. So dollar, let me target it and click. So if a user clicks the logout button, I need to call the Facebook logout function. So this is again a custom function, guys. I need to declare it. So custom function for user logout. So function Facebook logout. So let me all move to the blog here. So 2 lines of code is there, guys. So just wait. So you need to also make sure that if the user press the logout button, you need to first of all hide the logout button and also show the login button, and also empty the contents of inside the status div. So I just need to copy paste it. So this is self-explanatory, I don't want to explain these things. So you can see that you need to just make sure that you apply these things before calling the functions. So you can see that first of all we are hiding the logout button and then showing the login button, and then empty the contents which was there previously in the status div. So let me just move on to the Facebook logout function here. So 2 lines of code is there, you can see that. Let me just just paste it. So this is again the SDK standard function fb.logout. So if the function is successful, then we are again invoking this status change callback function to just remind that the user is successfully logged out. So basically it can change change the user interface depending upon the situation of the user, whether the user is logged in or whether the user is logged out. So basically the application is complete, guys. So just let me just uh, run the application by saving it and going to the application. So this is the application. So let me refresh it and click the inspect button. So if I click the login with Facebook, so let me see what is the problem. Let me just save the init.js file first of all, and also save the index.html. And let me just again refresh the page. So there is it is written that invalid scope birthday. So let me just go back and show to you why it is coming. So basically you need to go to here, you if you facing this problem, just go to Facebook Graph API Explorer. So this is the Graph API Explorer. So if you are facing these problems, you could just go to this, and this is the Graph API Explorer. You can explore the API if you are facing this problem. So basically let me just see that, let me eliminate the birthday scope. Let me see if I eliminate this. Let me see if it is gone or not. If I click this, you can see that it is opening here. So let's wait. So you can see that it is asking me that social auth app will receive your name and profile picture and email address. So continue as Gautam. So I will just allow the permissions, and after that it will be embedding my, you can see that welcome Gautam Sharma, your email is this and your birthday is this. So let me see my why birthday is not coming. So let me go back to the blog. So let me see, I have made the mistake I have in the scope section. So let me see the code here. First of all, public profile, sorry, yes, birthday, this is birthday. So I need to mention it here in the field section, so I have not done that. So that's the problem that was coming. So let me make sure that public profile, yes, birthday, response dot birthday, yes, that is coming. So response dot birthday, response dot birthday. So yes, that is the same. Yes, guys. So I think that my application is working. So you can see that I am printing out all the details, but I don't know why the birthday is not printing out. You can see the response also, in the response also it is not coming. So you can just make this application on your own. So you can just comment it. So if your application is is responding well. So we are successfully implemented this functionality. So there was just a birthday mistake that was coming. So thank you very much for watching this, guys. So please go back to the blog here for more information about this video, how to implement the Facebook login in JavaScript. So I will be seeing you in the next video. Until then, thank you very much.